President, Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country. And because I gave the European Union a 50% tax.
Trump was confronted yesterday with maybe the biggest blow to his ego he's ever received when asked by a reporter why he always chickens out. As you might suspect, Trump did not like this question and asked for it to never be repeated, and he doesn't want to deal with anything like that ever again. So clearly, that struck a little too close to home, and the internet has not failed on its mission to keep this going. But again, a woman would have been too emotional for a presidency? Got it.
You mean out of all the monikers that myself and many others have came up with for Mango Mussolini, it was mother chicken that made him mad? That some was so upset when she said that he spoke straight for the first time since 2016. I swear his eyes started twitching a little bit and his whole damn body started shaking. Has nobody ever told Nepotism Napoleon that normal people call him anything but his proper name?
Hey guys, welcome back. What's up everyone? Welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide, the place where we unpack the most talked about stories on the internet and beyond. And if it's trending, we are definitely talking about it. I'm your girl Amy, and today I've got something both hilarious and kind of serious at the same time. Have you heard people calling Trump a taco lately? No? Not because of food, but because of what T.A.C.O actually stands for. Trump always chickens out. Yep, that's a real thing now, and we're about to get into it. So let's take a look at what folks are saying, because the internet is having a field day with this one.
Well. It appears, my dears, that we may have actually broken the orange one. Yes, hon. I was expecting, and I was checking on into his not-so-true socials, my friend, about every 30 minutes after T.A.C.O dropped yesterday, and he had absolutely nothing to say. As a matter of fact, the last thing that he twatted out into the twatosphere actually was twatted before the T.A.C.O drop, dear. Apparently, a four-letter word could stop what's coming. 'Cause T.A.C.O shut down the orange herd. He's had nothing to say since that yesterday. And by the way, MAGA, come to the front while we're talking about this little stunt where y'all say he is a gift from God. He's been sent here by God. I know you know nothing about the theology behind the own religion that you practice, but correct me if I'm wrong, the brightest star, Lucifer, was also sent by God. Some things sent by God are not gifts, but warnings. Okay.
The news is saying that Wall Street keeps poking fun at Trump because he keeps backing out of these tariffs, and they've now coined it T.A.C.O for Trump always chickens out. How embarrassed do you want to be? How embarrassed do you want to be? Is this like a humiliation ritual? How embarrassed do you want to be? If I barged into the place and tried to impose tariffs on everybody and the courts told me that I had to roll all that back, and everyone poked fun at me by calling my antics the very culinary delicacy of the people that I am trying to deport, I would just move myself. I would just deport myself. I would just go. I would leave. You would never hear from me again, which is why I'm thinking Trump likes to be embarrassed, because it keeps getting worse and he keeps doing more of what's making it worse. And of course, he's trying to defend himself in the news and everything. But at that point, you've already lost, and he knows that. And so do we, which is why this is so fun.
You guys, I feel like, I said it last week, the energy had shifted. I feel like now the wheels have fully fallen off. To have that reporter look that man in the face and risk everything to ask him if he'd heard about the stock traders calling it like T.A.C.O, Trump always chickens out, and his response is going on a list of times that he chickened out as a defense, was a masterpiece, and hopefully will be written in the new history books that we have to rewrite after this is all over. And then within hours, the court saying his tariffs are basically null and void. He doesn't have the power to do tariffs. It takes away everything he had been planning and promising and talking about. And without the tariffs, he can't afford to pay for his tax cuts for his billionaire buddies. It's all going to fall apart. There's no way to pay for it now. And he owes all those billionaire buddies a lot because they helped him. And now he's not going to be able to help them. And they're going to be mad about that.
Something strange is happening. Donald Trump hasn't posted to his Truth Social in over 18 hours. That is just so unusual for him. It is now after 5:30 in DC, and he has not posted all day long. And with everything that happened yesterday and today, yesterday with the International Trade Court cutting off his tariffs, for him not to rage about that and rail on those judges makes no sense. And then today, for the appeal to come through and the tariffs are back on, and he's not on Truth Social bragging about it, or he's not raging about being called T.A.C.O, which is among the funniest fucking things I've ever heard. But for him not to do that, something is so fishy.
Let's really talk about what's going on here. So the term T.A.C.O, Trump always chickens out, is making serious rounds online. And honestly, it's not just a meme anymore. People are using it to point out something deeper about Trump's leadership style, especially when it comes to big, bold economic threats like tariffs. So let me rewind it a little bit. When Trump got back into office earlier this year, he made a huge statement with those Liberation Day tariffs, 10%, 50%, 60%, even up to 145% on imports from places like China. And the message was loud and clear. We are putting America first again. But then the market reacted, not positively. Stocks dipped, companies panicked, even some American manufacturers started raising red flags. And before you knew it, the Trump team started walking things back, clarifying, delaying, softening the message. And that's exactly where the T.A.C.O nickname comes in. Because according to critics, and even some investors, this isn't the first time Trump has done this. He talks tough, scares everyone, and then backs down when the pressure hits. It happened during his first term, and people say it's happening again. Now, personally, I think it's one thing to be strategic, to throw out big numbers as part of a negotiation tactic, but it's another thing when you do it so often that people stop taking you seriously. Like, if the markets already assume you're going to chicken out, how strong is your position really? And let's not forget, this isn't just about politics, because real people are affected, businesses are holding off on deals, prices are rising for consumers, and supply chains are stressed. So while T.A.C.O might sound funny, the consequences aren't. And that said, I do get why some of his supporters still back this strategy. They say he's shaking up a broken system, playing hardball, and making America less dependent on other countries. And sure, maybe that's the intention, but if you're going to play hardball, you've got to follow through. Otherwise, it just looks like posturing. And come on, the DNC literally rolled out a T.A.C.O truck with Trump in a chicken suit. That's definitely a full-blown roast. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this conversation in the comments. Drop your thoughts and let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, kindly give this video a thumbs up, like, share, and also subscribe for more trending stories. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.